Hello, I wish I could start once upon a time in a far, far away kingdom, but instead I have to say that it has happened recently. It was a hot Sunday morning, and after a hearty meal, I was strolling along the aisles of a local supermarket without any purpose in particular. All of a sudden I became aware of a barely perceptible scent coming from the baker's. At first it was delicate and low-key, but then as if by the flick of a magic wand, I fell for its charm and will. A pretty saleswoman offered me a small cake. I couldn't resist tasting it. It was really nice. Although I didn't intend to buy anything that day, I brought home a pack of pastries. Why did you do it? I asked myself a little later. There was no need for that hasty action. What about you, my friend? Have you ever been in a situation when you did something what you hadn't planned to do? This is the work of the limbic system. There are differences what to include in the limbic system because it reaches out and encompasses the entire brain. However, there are some basic anatomical structures of this system which I'd like to illustrate on my picture. The hypothalamus. It contains about 40 neural pathways. It extends anteriorly into the optic chiasm, where the optic nerves meet, and posteriorly to the mammillary bodies. The hypothalamus regulates biological functions, namely hunger, satiety, thirst, sex, and also the autonomic nervous system. The mammillary bodies. 3 to 4 mammillary nuclei transmitting signals from the limbic system to the thalamus. The hippocampus is a large structure in each temporal lobe. It takes part in the creation of new memories of new events. The fornix is a bundle of fibers, mostly from the hippocampus, located on the medial aspect of each cerebral hemisphere. The amygdala is a group of about 20 interconnected nuclei. It regulates the emotions involved in self-preservation, such as fear and anger. The thalamus is a rounded mass of at least 23 cell bodies that form 5 groups: anterior, posterior, medial, lateral, and ventral. The thalamus processes and distributes sensory, except smell, and motor information going to and from the cerebral cortex. The cingulate cortex controls mood and choice making. And the olfactory system. The olfactory system is closely linked to the limbic system because smell is the only sense that goes straight to the cerebral cortex without passing through the thalamus as an intermediary. The olfactory system consists of several elements, from the olfactory hairs that detect breathed-in chemicals to the olfactory bulbs above the nasal cavities, and then through the amygdala directly to the frontal lobe, which deals with voluntary motor functions, mood, emotion, social judgment, and aggression. Functional significance of the limbic network is widely accepted. It virtually moves us. As you can see, located in the brain near each cerebral hemisphere, the limbic system adapts our emotions and basic needs to motor activity. You'll find a number of linked structures within this complex. For example, your memory and emotion are controlled by the hippocampus, your involuntary bodily responses by the hypothalamus, and instantaneous responses like fight-or-flight response by the amygdala. Thanks to the limbic system, we can respond to various changes in the environment and perform ordinary day-to-day activities without having to think through them in detail. We can also engage in social interactions via the limbic system. However, there are times when it can trip us up, just like any other system, like was in my case. First, the smell of the pastry turned my limbic system on, and then the free cake played its role, the social principle of reciprocity in action. Thank you.